What if pride could turn a throne into a field? What if the most powerful man on earth was suddenly brought to his knees, not in prayer, but to eat grass like an animal? This isn't a fairy tale. It's the shocking true story of King Nebuchadnezzar II, the mighty ruler of Babylon. Imagine this. You're at the absolute pinnacle of power. You've built one of the most magnificent empires the world has ever seen. The Hanging Gardens of Babylon, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. That was your project. Your armies are undefeated, your wealth is immeasurable, and your word is law. You stand on the roof of your palace, looking out over the sprawling golden city you built, and you think to yourself, is this not the great Babylon I have built by my mighty power and for the glory of my majesty? That's exactly what Nebuchadnezzar said. He was dripping with pride, convinced that his success was entirely his own doing. He saw himself as the master of his destiny, the architect of his own glory. He had forgotten, or perhaps chosen to ignore, that there was a higher power, a true king of the universe who gives and takes away. But God had already sent him a warning. A year earlier, Nebuchadnezzar had a terrifying dream that none of his wise men could interpret. It was a dream of a massive, beautiful tree that reached the heavens, providing food and shelter for all. But then a holy messenger came down from heaven and commanded that the tree be chopped down, its leaves scattered, its fruit gone. Only the stump and its roots were to be left in the ground, bound with iron and bronze, left in the dewy grass of the field. The messenger then said something truly bizarre. Let his mind be changed from that of a man, and let him be given the mind of an animal, till 7 times pass over him. The prophet Daniel, a man of God serving in the king's court, bravely interpreted the dream. He told Nebuchadnezzar, Your Majesty, the tree is you. The dream was a direct warning from God. Humble yourself, or you will be humbled. You will be driven from your palace, from your people, and you will live in the wild. You will eat grass like an ox, be drenched with the dew of heaven, and your hair will grow like the feathers of an eagle, and your nails like the claws of a bird. This would last for 7 years, until you finally acknowledge that the Most High God is sovereign over all kingdoms on earth, and gives them to anyone he wishes. Nebuchadnezzar heard the warning, but he didn't listen. A year passed, and as we know, he stood on his palace roof, basking in his own self-proclaimed glory. And the Bible says that as the words of pride were still on his lips, a voice came from heaven, declaring that his kingdom had departed from him. Immediately it happened just as the dream foretold. The most powerful man in the world lost his mind. He was driven out of his golden palace and into the wilderness. The king who once feasted on the finest foods now grazed on grass. The man who wore royal purple robes was now exposed to the elements, his body soaked with dew. His once manicured hands grew long, twisted nails like a bird's claws, and his hair grew matted and long like eagle feathers. He had become a spectacle, a wild creature, a living testament to the consequence of unchecked pride. For 7 long years the throne of Babylon sat empty while its king lived like a beast. Then, at the end of the 7 years, something shifted. Nebuchadnezzar, out there in the field, lifted his eyes toward heaven. In that moment his sanity was restored. The fog of arrogance lifted, and he finally understood. He blessed the Most High God. He praised and honored the one who lives forever. He declared, His dominion is an eternal dominion. His kingdom endures from generation to generation. He does as he pleases with the powers of heaven and the peoples of the earth. No one can hold back his hand or say to him, "What have you done?" With his heart humbled and his mind restored, Nebuchadnezzar was returned to his throne. His honor and splendor were given back to him, even greater than before. But he was a changed man. He was no longer a king who ruled by his own might, but one who understood he was ruling under the authority of the one true king. His final decree wasn't about his own greatness, but about the greatness of God, a God who is able to humble those who walk in pride. This incredible story is a powerful reminder for all of us. Pride can make us believe we are the source of our own success, but everything we have is a gift. True strength isn't found in elevating ourselves, but in acknowledging the one who lifts us up. Help us share his glory. If this story moved you, please like, share, and subscribe for more.